My name is Rhapsody. Welcome back to Slice and Dice. We're going to be leaping back into Shortcut here. Another attempt at hard mode. We have Dabbler. Right, we're in Shortcut mode, so we don't actually have Dabble, the one we unlocked in the last episode, the low-level version of the Dabbler. I say low-level, they have a harder heal. They've got a heal for 5 rather than heal for 4 space. We've also got a Dabbler and Soldier, so we've got some very basic damage sides here. Some 3s, some 2s. We've got a Squire as well for some redirection of damage themselves. We've got the Priestess for some max HP as well as a little bit of mana gain, some AoE healing, and the Evoker, the capability of getting 3 mana in a single turn, but also drop 4 damage to the topmost enemy. That could be, what? 4th death? The 4th dice you use each turn gains death. You die. So just use fewer than 4 dice in a turn unless you're okay with losing the person? Yikes. That's a huge, huge curse. That's like, way too much. But oh my god. Maybe I'm just not seeing how to play around this in this instance. Maybe it exists. It seems absurd to me though. Monster Pristine. All monsters have Pristine on all sides, times 2 if they have full HP. That's going to be a bit difficult as well. We don't really have the ability to deal broad damage. Barricade, we don't have the ability to move or hit targets in the back line unless they are specifically on the top. I think we have to go with the Wolf. I think it's the only available choice here for us. Unless, of course, I wanted to reroll all of my classes as well as all of my choices there, which was, you know what, possible. I probably should have had a look at that. Change of Heart. Replace heal/self-heal signs with basic shield sides, retaining their original value and other keywords. So I can shield everyone by 1. I can shield 1 mana gain. I can shield 3 vitality. Turning the heal into a shield 4 on the Dabbler, though, that's pretty good. Life Bolt, after a spell is cast, self-heal for 1. Squire's going to be taking intentional damage on themselves. Rain of Arrows, replace the top side with 1 damage range duplicate. I'm just going to put that on the Evoker. The only person who has an open space there. And then the Titan's Bane Potion, add Dispel and Drink, so will use itself on the middle side. I mean, ultimately, I'm going to want to use that probably against whoever we fight at the very end of the game. Specifically, I'm going to want to save it just in case there's Hexia, and then if it's the dragon instead, I'm just going to have a +1 on a random side. I guess unless I encounter a boss before that I think is going to be really, really putting me to test. Okay. Wolf and 4 imps. Okay, a lot of ability to generate 2 mana on our part here. The Evoker's second best side. They've got also a bunch of blanks. I mean, yeah, I think I'd prefer to give them this. I'd really like to take the Wolf out this round if possible. So a drop as well as 2 damage would do that. That's the confirmation of that. Ooh, actually, I don't even need to use the drop now. Right? No, wait, I do still. Because a single strike and then the focus strike is still not enough to kill the Wolf on the top line. Dang. Okay, so that means... Honestly, that means our best damage might be... actually, those initial actions, a single burst afterwards. And then I can hold on to the possibility to burst next round as well. But also hold on to the possibility of just throwing out a drop. Just dropping a bunch of mana on these enemies would be incredible. Oh my god, that's already quite good for us. Priestess, that's one of the best sides you can get for keeping people alive right now. Is it? Your AoE heal as well as your mana gain, literally the 2 other possibilities, might both be better. So, oops. On that previous assertion. So I have the ability to use drop twice this round. Alright. Well, let's have a wee look at what we can get done. Drop kills both the top targets. We move on to the next imp and start pestering the second one. Easy. Or the final one at this point. Bye-bye, imp. Warden and Cleric. Both pretty huge upgrades here to the Squire. Warden, again, a lot more basic. We have just no keywords, in fact. Just shield 4, shield 3, shield 2, shield 1, and 2 attack 2s. Not extremely dissimilar to the Soldier. One reason I might not want to overlap those two kinds of things, as in two characters that don't have particularly distinct things from one another, is we also have the Dabbler up here, who is also relatively indistinct from that, with just normal damage side, shield side, mana side. So things like Simplicity or the basic Whetstone, like items that would usually benefit a character, would probably just want to go on one of these characters. I'm not going to have the ability to really diversely itemize each of them, I think is the point I'm trying to get here, and kind of clumsily stumbling over a little bit here. Cleric offers us the ability finally to get some cleanse. We otherwise have no access to that. That may be the tiebreaker here. Cleric has heal and shield 2 as well as 1 gain mana sides. Gaining some mana is always nice. Cleric might not be the ideal target to continue holding the life bolt at this point though, as they're not going to be dealing direct damage, and we are up against spikers. So I imagine that someone who has to deal direct damage to the spiker is probably the person who needs to hold the life bolt. Other than that, let's go. So Soldier gets the 3 damage side, arguably one of their best. Gotta remind myself that holding pattern here is still fine for us. The Fanatic is taking 4 damage for their goal at attacking us here. So if we stay alive and deal just a little bit of damage, we're still also dealing 5 damage to the Fanatic. Priestess, I really think you might need your max HP on someone this round if possible. I'm not going to turn down the 4 shields from the Dabbler there, nor the second best side on the Evoker. I could save a lot of damage on the Evoker this round if I was keen to use a drop as well as the Soldier to just strike the Wolf. One huge utility actually that's in that is it now reveals the Fanatic as the top line target after that Wolf is dead, making it a lot easier to hit drops on them, which is going to be important next round when they're, suddenly going to try and deal 8 damage and I have to suddenly kill them, Priestess, worst case scenario, you roll past this and don't get anything that's actually even useful for me this turn, so let's just bank what we can get here. Okay. Flash should be exceptionally helpful in staying alive against the Spiker. The Spiker has huge instant target to a single target with the 7 damage, but their AoE strikes in particular are quite heavily countered by the Priestess's spell here. Flash, 2 mana for heal and shield 1 to all dying allies. I mean, I'd like the Priestess's rather AoE heal here, but I do need as much mana as I can get this turn if I have any hope of surviving. That'll help. That'll help. I'm gonna push on both of the remainders. Didn't make them better. So I can keep the Cleric alive, but what do I really get for having done it? Honestly, the death of the Fanatic. I get to keep the class that is now most disproportionately powerful at saving people from this punch, because the Cleric has the ability to heal and shield someone at the same time, both of those being like full effect here. Giant swing. I do think a lot of our damage here is going to be dealt via drop. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we kill with the drop this round. Well, that's the setup for the drop. Okay, we can kill with drop this round. It's drop, and then the Evoker range, and then everyone else had ranged strikes if they needed them. Tankard, +1 to all sides for each stack of poison on you. Nothing wrong with putting that on the Priestess and getting the ability to giant single heal a target, manage the fact that we have a lot of poison on members of the party by still disproportionately benefiting from effects like heal to all allies. Cleric could probably attempt to hold the same. Alembic. Replace the middle side with add mana gain and pain to target sides this turn. Two people working in coordination in order to deal a bunch of damage to an individual target as well as gain a slight amount of mana. Not particularly good in this party where I'm already good at generating mana. I'm actually leaning towards the random tier 5 here. If I had a curse that gave us, you know, some amount of poisoning on one of our characters so the tanker was like bootstrapped to work from the very start, then yes, but otherwise I can't think about this in the best case scenario where, you know, the right target is specifically being focused on with poison consistently and it's at the right time and then they happen to roll the right effects afterwards. It's just too many things to be hoping on. Monocle, however, much more broad in its engagement here. Add engage to the middle left side. The pun was not intended. So that's just 2 times 2 targets on full HP. That gives the soldier the ability to instantly kill a wolf. Contributes 6 damage to a banshee. Oh, baby. Priestess is currently getting that poison effect, so really, really demonstrating how that previous decision was, you know, not necessarily 100% correct. Maybe it would have been useful in this battle at the absolute least. I do want the soldier to roll their 3-sided engage. I'm going to be a little greedy here. No, okay, I'm not going to push one more time. 3 damage is good enough now, because that's the ability to take out the wolf on the top line without really having to worry. Oh, I should cast my spell first, noting that the Banshee is going to be dealing 1 damage to all enemies after the first spell is cast, and then the Priestess is going to have the ability to heal everyone back up. I probably want to cast Drop on the Banshee, if I had to guess here. So we'll do that, and then heal up, and then cure some of that poison, block some of that incoming damage. Doing well. Love to see the giant block on the Dabbler this turn. Evoker, I feel like I can continue pushing you. But do I need to? I can gain 4 mana this turn. What does 4 mana this turn accomplish? Gosh, not an awful amount, actually. Priestess, you're happy with that side. Everyone else pushes. That's interesting. So I'm going to try something here. We have the ability to undo it if we need to. This is the Bones needs to take 3 damage in a single instance. Then the Banshee is already killing Evoker. And then I have 3 hits left here, 2 of them ranged and propagating across. So we kill the Bones and then we kill the Sniper. Okay. Hey, the Rain of Arrows really came in clutch there. Love to see it. I mean, Cleric, you are fine rolling that side, but everyone else obviously pushes here. There's never going to be a good side on the Evoker here, unfortunately. It's just not what they're up to. There you go, huge block. Venom. Oh, Warlock. Oh, we're being offered the ability to kill bosses. That's what we're being offered here, right? Scaling damage. Warlock, I will note, immediately destroys the Baron. It's so hilarious. All you do is get enough mana to do Blaze, which does 13 damage. 13 damage against this enemy pops at least 6 of their Mana Glutton effects, which gives you 6 mana back. And then you just blaze them again. I wonder if that's something that kind of throws the numbers for this fight. Maybe that's what I do specifically. I like it. I really like it. I love the Warlock though. I always love the Warlock. Am I loving the Warlock too much? Venom? Have you been changed again? I think the Venom may have been changed again. I think the Venom previously, like very recently, used to have just poison on all sides as well as the heal cleanse, and so they were more consistent. They didn't have the single-use science, and they didn't have this, but this didn't used to say poison plague, it said poison dose, I'm pretty sure, and the bonus was just equal to the poison already on that character. Anyhow, I think it's Warlock, and I think one of the reasons it's Warlock here is because poison is nowhere else supported in the build, save Venom, whereas mana is quite heavily supported in the build, and HP gain is quite heavily supported in the build, defensiveness is quite heavily supported in the build, mana is quite heavily supported in the build. I mean, the Dabbler up here even has the 2 mana side. How about itemization? Anything leading us in the direction there? I mean, after a spell is cast, self-heal 1 for a character that damages in order to get mana, yeah, we're going Warlock. At some point, I was going to have to actively choose there not to go Warlock if I wanted to... Like, or rather, I was going to have to make the choice to not play in a way I necessarily considered optimal in the instance in order to take the other one. There was going to have to be a lot of umming and ahhing on my side, setting up the turn, the sudden left to taking that. Oh, Soldier. Okay, with the 6 damage you get from that engage, you have the ability to immediately slaughter this ghost. Love it. The Warlock is in some danger right now. They're going to have a lot of difficulty. Full stop. That's great. Warlock, please self-damage. Oh, that really hurts. So the Warlock does literally nothing at all this entire turn. I think they only rolled blanks. I don't even think they got a single use or a Bloodlust. Cleric has less HP than the Priestess to play with here. And obviously the Warlock needs to have as much health as possible. Start getting rid of the wolf. No, I'm not going to start getting rid of the wolf, actually. I'm going to start getting rid of the ghost on the bottom line. I want to be able to take it out with a single 3 damage strike. Don't want to have to rely on having some combo effect to actually be able to remove it from the field. Warlock, you can get a lot of mana this turn if we just optimally use that. Cleric, that's just what you need to utilize this turn. I'd really like to keep the Dabbler alive, but it's not essential, to be clear. It's very much not essential for us here. 3/3. Because the Baron is dealing 9 damage to the Dabbler, so it would need to double defend in some fashion as well. Yeah, it's pretty difficult. Okay. Soldier strikes Baron. Now the Bloodlust side on the Warlock has the ability to get us 4 mana. Oh no! Oh! I finally get to prove my point. We also strike the wolf on the top line. Now we get 5 mana, giving us the ability to blaze the Baron, who then gives us back 7 mana. Then I can blaze the Baron again. Then I'm going to... I mean, we can save everyone on field and then just start attacking. So glad that I picked back up on that quite quickly there. Spinning Scythe. Replace the middle side with 1 damage to all heroes and monsters. Rampage. I love this item. I love it. I really do. Where do you get to use it? It's difficult because it's got a downside in that it's hitting all heroes and all monsters, and it's not ranged. So by the time you get access to Spinning Scythe, right, by the time you have access to a tier 6 item, it's very low in pips, It has the downside of hitting all of your heroes, and many of the enemies at that point are ranged or have aren't ranged, have on hit effects, right? So spikes or some other trigger that you're not trying to hit. So it feels like this needs so much support, but it also comes late. I mean, honestly, this seems like a side that you put down after Earn or something like that. But does it have a huge upside? Can you use it that many times? I'm not certain. Not certain. Blood Amulet, however, adds self-heal to the 2 left sides. That's much, much simpler. Let's have a quick think, actually. This says replaces heal/self-heal sides with basic shield sides, retaining their original value and other keywords. So any keyword that is not self-heal. I almost want to go Blood Amulet just to see what we can do with that. Blood Amulet, are you really good on any of the other characters that we would be leveling up at this point? Obviously, the Warlock's on their highest level. Blood Amulet, they could hold it for some extra mana out of Bloodlust, but like, it's not incredible to aim for. Another choice here is to go for the random tier 6 item at this point, but I do feel the terror setting in of the possibility of clicking this button and then getting something that is just entirely outside of any usefulness. I'm doing it. Ooh, Catnip adds cantrip to the rightmost side. Okay. Interesting. I mean, this is definitely going to help direct the character that we ultimately decide to go with. In this fight, there's going to be a lot of AoE because there's the Ogre doing the AoE damage, the Spiker doing the AoE damage, as well as the Spiker having the Reflect. So I'm going to try and get heal 1 to all allies to be our cantrip. Oh my gosh. The hard target of the Warlock immediately. Dabbler with the giant block. Priestess with even more mana gain. Love to see that. Oh my god, that's the instant kill on the wolf as well from the soldier. Very, very optimal turn so far. Can I get the defend and heal? No. That's okay. So Flash is heal and shield 1 to all dying allies. That's just going to be the Warlock, and it's heal and shield 1, which is basically the same as shield 2. So it's burst or flash. It's the same thing in this instance, no matter what I do. In terms of the overall outcome. But I can leave myself with 3 mana for the next turn, which is already half of the way to being able to just blow up the Spiker. Definitely taking the mana right now, considering we are quite close to the end, if I manage to get those effects. Actually, yeah, this is entirely okay, right? Although I don't want any of the damage. This is the way, yeah, absolutely. Oh my god, now with the engage side, can we do it differently? Hang on, let's entertain that notion. So we can blaze the bottom line and then set up the Ogre with only 4 HP. Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with that. Bye-bye, Ogre. Roulette versus Veteran. If I could replace that side, it's not many things at this point. The game typically treats replacing your leftmost side of your die, which does tend to be the most powerful side that a character has. Not always, but tends to. It does treat that as exclusively a downside, or almost always exclusively a downside. And as a result, It's difficult when you're going with higher tier items to get things that will allow you to overwrite the 7 damage sticky mandatory death side here. I think I might just have to take the veteran. Honestly, it's just the upgrade on the soldier. It's completely fine by me. And hey, you know, you can definitely have that side as a cantrip still. Absolutely. 3 shield on cantrips, pretty good. And a 8 damage from an engaged strike is incredible. Up against a wolf, multiple illusions, and 2 demons. Okay. The illusions are definitely the most dangerous thing on the field this turn. The only problem is it's exceptionally difficult for me to deal with them without just taking direct actions specifically, aggressively, exclusively against them. I get a lot of very defensive sides here, which is nice, except for the fact that it's not killing any of them. Oh, boy. I'm so glad to have gotten the heal and shield to help the Warlock deal with the mana gain there. So this is already the ability to burst 2 of the illusions to death, which we will be doing. So you are currently attempting to petrify the cleric there. Let's do something that has been long suggested, and that is very quickly go and have a look at the keyword for petrify. It shows you the petrification order, and that is the top of the die, then the leftmost, through the rightmost, and then the bottom of the die. Okay, so it petrifies from top to bottom. Neat. So that tells us that the cleric will be losing their 1 mana with a single petrification this round, and that the dabbler will be losing their 2 mana? Okay, dabbler losing their 2 mana is pretty bad. The weaken coming out of each of these illusions is also not helpful. Okay. We thin down the field a little. Unfortunately, the demon does summon an imp. Cleric. Nice. Managed to roll the petrified side immediately. Priestess, I think I will actually really value your mana this turn. Oh man, good work, veteran. Incredible cantrips. Okay, again, for the sake of the Warlock, we will keep them on maximum HP. I can prevent a summon from the demon by murdering them instantaneously here. Seems a good effect on my mind. Then the veteran has the ability to prevent the poisoning of the cleric. Unfortunately, they are sacrificing their own 3 damage space in order to do so, but I think that's going to be worth it ultimately for us. Priestess self-heal, hold. I'm so glad with the 13 damage ability to just be able to take out demons in a single instance. It's so comforting to just know that they are effectively dead on arrival as soon as they load onto the screen. I think we're already good here. So I'm not gonna get too testy with it. We make the illusion run away at the very end. 2 reads, +1 to all even sides. I love this. Okay, so +1 to all even sides immediately gives the bloodlust and all the mana gain sides for the Warlock get a buff. The Cleric gets slightly better with their defensive situation. The Dabbler increases all of their sides except for the 2 damage. I mean, honestly, really good. Really good. Oh, no. Spell Invest has future and cooldown. So for 4 mana, we can get 6 mana next turn. I think if I can generate 6 mana, I almost always immediately need to use it for some aim. This is a nice way to possibly ball out of control with the amount of mana that I have, but the fact that it already, when I have 6 mana, does 13 damage really heavily incentivizes me to use it. I'm going to take the 2 reads. And speaking of, I'll also pop that on the Warlock. Even more mana. Up against a Wolf, Sniper, Basilisk, a Ghost, and another Sniper. Oh, that's mana, baby. Everyone's trying to kill the Cleric today. Basically, everyone on the field save the Basilisk is targeting the Cleric. I'm going to be pretty amazed if we keep the Cleric alive here. So, Cleric, if you can do anything else... Yeah, I mean, defending and shielding the Veteran from the incoming poison? Absolutely. Wow. Veteran actually gets their 8 damage side. Like, there's no way, right? Yeah, no matter what I do, I'm not keeping them alive. Okay, the Basilisk goes down. I guess the Veteran didn't even need that. Hang on, wait, so... What if the Cleric did defend themselves? Just for a laugh. And then instead of using Blaze here, I use Burst 3 times on the top line. It's the same mana cost though, so... I can keep the Cleric alive with those actions. I should do it. It's the right play. I don't want the Cleric to have to roll into the next fight on half HP. The Warlock doesn't need a self-heal right now as much as they need more mana. That'll have to be good enough mana, I think. Okay, so there goes the Basilisk. And it's down to just the Sniper and I. Very happy with it. Dabbler, why don't you take him out with exact damage? Show us level 16 is the Ludus and Surgeon. That Surgeon is appealing though. Ludus has, you know, as we've seen before many times, damage 1 through 6. It's not bad. They'd have a 5 damage engage space if they took the engage away from Veteran. It's not bad. But the Surgeon has heal and shield too. One of the best sides that we've consistently been lauding praise upon the Cleric for having held. Has heal 2 mana gain, has heal 2 double use, which can be used twice in a turn, and operate for 4 mana, revive the topmost defeated ally. With all of that, the ability to generate extra mana, the ability to utilize that extra mana to keep characters or bring characters back to life, the ridiculous amount of health that they can put out to the party. I should also note that 2 reads increases all of their sides, as it gives +1 to all even sides, and they only have even sides. We're taking them. So good. Hey, we could even add engage to the middle side and have a heal 3 mana gain engage side. So if we use it against a full health target, that is to say usually if we use it on turn 1, we get 6 mana. Honestly, that's not bad at all. Especially in a fight like this where we're up against relatively few targets that we're going to be hitting consistently. Not a lot of opportunities to act upon engage here. Pretty much everyone has low rolled. Warlock, you definitely take mana. Surgeon, all of your sides will heal. You don't have to settle for that. Veteran, 4 damage is good enough. Dabbler, 2 damage will be good enough. We're taking out that Wolf on the top line. Push. That's not good. No, it's not good. We'll remove the Wolf. The Cleric still intends to die. I'll shield them to keep them alive, as well as heal the Warlock a wee bit. Yeah, we're definitely going to need the cleanse from the Cleric out this round, unfortunately. Man, Troll King with the 3 slam. Throwing it down one time, Troll King. Let's push on everyone else. Everyone feels a little bit wary here. Veteran, I'd really like you to hit some of your cantrip sides. Yikes. No mana generated this turn either. That's possibly the most tragic part about it. 3 health there. Oh no. Yeah, I think I have to lose the cleric this round. I don't really think I'm allowed to keep them alive here. I think I'm gonna have to roll around the possibility of using Operate for them later. I'm also just gonna start working on the slate on the top line. I recognize that that slate on the top line for us is almost certainly gonna represent, like, just multiple turns worth of burst. Veteran, please. I just need defensive sides from you if possible. Hang on, Dabbler, if you defend Warlock enough to generate that mana... Still don't have the ability to kill the Slate, so the Slate is definitely going to be taking out the Surgeon this round. So I can bring back the Cleric. Oh, God! Ooh, not... Our team isn't getting better! Oh my god, the fact that the slate is just standing there consistently popping out big attacks and I can't respond to it without losing everything is a nightmare. I just don't have enough instances of damage to be able to deal with the slate. Yep. You're gonna lose to this. I realize now that the only way I was possibly going to get through this is if I focused exclusively the Troll King the entire time. I realize that now. And that's the kind of information and recognition I'm going to have to take into another run, unfortunately. Shortcut hard. Wait, we're sub 40 minutes. Wait, the shortcut episodes should be around 40 minutes. 40 minutes is just around the length where I can't start another run, because if I start another run and then it takes a full hour, we end up at 2 hours, and it's like, I could have recorded 2 episodes in this period of time. But also, the value of the Surgeon. Unrealized, how dare they? The value of the Dabbler, incredibly well realized. The Veteran, just hanging out. We had, like, relatively strong things across the board. But in that specific final fight, a consistent inconsistency in generating instances of damage to be able to take out the Slate. Because, like, the Cleric generates mana, the Surgeon generates mana, the Warlock generates mana, and the Veteran and the Dabbler each generate small individual effects. So the best that we could have done would have been the Surgeon generating mana early as well as the Warlock generating mana early to give us the ability and the edge to be able to take out the Slate, which unfortunately, it didn't really want to be able to do. We did manage to get the wolf down early, though. I wonder if I completely diverted away from the wolf, would we even be better off? That is a question for the future and for another run. I did feel add wolf was probably one of the easier modifiers I've had to deal with so far in Shortcut Hard. So I'm going to be looking for that again in the future. But for the moment, let me just say that my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slice and Dice. There's a playlist up in that top left, a YouTube recommendation down below, streaming past the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic of Patreon.com/Rhapsody Plays. And above the thanks in, a special thanks this episode to Abatoth. Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time? Next time. I'll see you then.